Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the queen of joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Monday morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well today. I hope you can hear me. I was just thinking about that. I didn't check my button before I hit the live. I see it's on, so hopefully you can hear me well. Let me know. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing day today. I'm tired this morning. Worked all weekend, exhausted. But here we are. It's a good day. It's getting chillier outside. I love it. And it's so funny. I saw a girl, Amy, that I went to school with 100 years ago, talking about how it's been kind of a little bit unseasonably warm here in this area of Connecticut. And at least I think so. But she felt that way too. And she was like, I am ready for the cold and I know I'm going to get shot down. I'm going to get shot down here. But look, I mean, there's a season for everything. And this is not the season for warm. I'm just trying to say. Got some hot cider yesterday. That was lovely. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good week this week. We're kicking off eclipse season over here. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, it's a series of eclipses. We're starting with I believe a partial solar eclipse and then a total lunar eclipse after that. And yeah, good times. What does that mean? Look, it could mean nothing for you. It could also mean, if you're into the spiritual woo-woo world, that it's times of transition and change, and which many of us are already experiencing that. And then you can look, what's really cool with the eclipses is you can kind of look for patterns. So whenever the last total lunar eclipse was, you can kind of see patterns starting and stopping and things like that. And so it's cool to kind of look at. You can go down that rabbit hole later on your own time for sure. For those of you guys that were there in the beginning, did you like the little Halloween intro? Did you catch that? If not, I will play it again at the end. So check that out at the end, but just needed a little festivity over here. I've really been enjoying going out, and when I'm out and about, seeing everybody's Halloween decorations. Let me know if you've decorated for Halloween. That's been a lot of fun for me to see. There is a house near Ashaway, Rhode Island, which is not far from me here in Connecticut because I work a lot in the Westerly area. And sorry if my signal is not great right now, you guys. I just saw the little notification pop up. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me in a minute if I cut out at all. But there's a house on a corner in Ashaway, Rhode Island that is really cool because it's kind of like an old Victorian style house, and they've got it all decked out in Harry Potter. Now, I've been so excited to see it. And then this last week, as you may have seen, we lost Robbie Coltrane, and Robbie Coltrane played Hagrid in the Harry Potter series, and there's that line in the first one that says, "There's no Hogwarts without Hagrid. There's no Hogwarts without you, Hagrid." And I may he rest in peace, and may everybody that loved him be brought some peace. His family, his friends, and of course all of the fans, especially Harry Potter fans. I think he is such an integral part of that series, and it was sad to see for sure. But anyway, so now I'm a little emotional when I go by this house, but it's been really cool to see because they have like dark cutouts on their lawn. There's Dobby, and next to Dobby on this little string are socks. And so every time I pass by, bless my husband's heart, he has to put up with me literally yelling out the window, "Master gave Dobby a sock." Like, I'm so excited by this whole thing. So it's been really cool to see. I love the decorations. Let me know if you're decked out. If your house is decked out for Halloween, I want you to send me a photo. If you have me on your personal page on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, send it to me on there, or you can email me, Jessica at thebreakthroughshow.com. Email me your Halloween photos. I would love to feature them on the show in the next couple of shows. Okay. So I want you to do that for me. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that. One's a really cool one. There's one at the corner here that has huge blow ups, the entire yard, all around the edge, and they light up and the whole deal. It is really cool to see. So let me know if you do that. I want to check in before we get to national days. I want to check in and see who is here with us this morning. Brittany, of course, was front row, as she always is, because she is a winner. Good morning, Miss Brittany. It's good to see you. Thank you for letting me know that you can hear me. I should have checked that before I kept rambling, but I saw comments coming in, so I was figuring maybe you could hear me. Hey, Mandy, happy Monday. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, October. Listen, it is not warm season anymore. It is decor. It is hoodies. It is hot cider. Listen, I can't with you people whining that it's not warm anymore. There's a season for everything. Yours is coming next year. Okay. All right. Yes. I was so sad, so sad. And you know what? It's wild because we lost Angela Lansbury as well. And that I was literally crying in the car, you guys. And I know some of you guys are like, I can't believe you get wrapped up in the celebrity stuff. It's not the celebrity. Some of these people have been staples in our childhood, and Angela Lansbury was one of those people for me. I loved watching her as a young Angela Lansbury in National Velvet with Elizabeth Taylor and Mickey Rooney when they were all really super young. You guys know that movie. If you have not seen National Velvet, please pop your bubble and go watch it, please. It's so good. But there's that movie, and then of course Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, and then She Wrote for so many years, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Like, I can't. Okay. And so she was such a magical, she always felt very magical to me in many ways. And so then Hagrid and the magic connection with him and Harry Potter, and it's just it just felt some kind of way this last week. Anybody else go through this last week and was like, what in the actual is going on? Anybody else? And by the way, I did not murder anybody, you guys. I dyed my daughter's hair this morning. So I literally am all painted and whatnot. I'll be dyed for the next week, but I figure it's the season for that anyway. Yes. Hey, Miss Angela, it's good to see you this morning. We are having a monster mash at our school. So excited to deck. I want to see photos. I need photos. Okay. I need to see. Yes, period. It is, your time is coming next year. Okay. This is fall time. We don't need the warmth right now. It is the connection. Absolutely. And there's just a lot of people that kind of poo-poo that when we get upset about celebrities passing on, but they can really be an integral part of our lives. You know, they, especially like for me, musicians, when musicians that we love pass, like their music are the soundtracks of our lives, and movies. And listen, I tell my kids this story all the time. You guys want to hear a little something about me? Bed knobs and broomsticks. Um, I knew the spells from that movie by heart. And I promise you, I was in my grandparents' garage with a broom, and that bitch was going to fly. It was going to fly. Okay. I, as a child, I was in the garage with the broom, and I tried, I lowered the lights, got a little fake candle out there, the flickering going on. That thing was going to fly. So it's memories like that. It's little silly things like that. It's things that, you know, that will always be a part of my life. Angela Lansbury will always be the witch I wanted to go and live with when I was little. You know, it's just that memory, that connection. So you're absolutely right. Let's talk about national days that are going on today. Today is the 17th. It is listen, I can get behind this, boys and girls. It is National Pasta Day. Let me know if you have a favorite cut of pasta. Okay, I need to know these things. Do you have a favorite cut of pasta? By the way, you guys, pasta is super easy to make. Most pasta in the store is vegan friendly, if anybody wanted to know that. But sometimes pasta places, like there's a local pasta place here that I love. Any of my local friends are listening, you will know which one I'm talking about, down on Thames Street. I'm not going to say their name because I'm upset with them. But they put egg in their pasta, so I don't partake in that pot. But I used to go there all the time. Everybody loves them. They are celebrated in this area. But you do not need to have egg in pasta for a good pasta, just letting you know. But October 17th is National Pasta Day. Pasta lovers are celebrating all over the world. The first reference to pasta dates to 1154. The year 1154, you guys, in Sicily. Okay. Um, Amazing. And it was first attested to in English in 1874. It is made from unleavened dough of durum wheat flour. Sometimes it is mixed with eggs or water. That's the thing. You don't need eggs. Water is just fine. Formed into sheets or shapes and then sliced or whatever and can be served. Let me know if you have a favorite cut of pasta. My favorite long pasta, so like a spaghetti type thing, is angel hair pasta. My absolute favorite is the thinnest pasta you can have going on. That is my absolute favorite. I also love lasagna, and I love stuffed pastas, manicotti, ravioli, lasagna, I love the stuffed pastas for sure. Now, there is another pasta that I absolutely love that I don't put sauce or anything on. I put it in soups, and that's acini di pepe. If you guys have ever seen it, if you have not seen it, you need to go find it because it's little teeny, like smaller than orzo, like a quarter of the size of an orzo pasta. Okay, you guys know orzo, that's like kind of like an oval shape, oval but pointed on the ends. I don't know what you'd call that. I don't think I learned that in school. little teeny tiny pearls of pasta, and they're so like smaller than couscous. Okay, so good in like a nice veggie soup, vegan chicken soup, whatever. So good. So good. My favorite thing. Okay. So those are my favorite cuts of pasta. Angela said we had Greek pizza last night. My mom and I went to see Australian Bee Gees and had food back at our seat. That sounds delicious and fun. Delicious and fun. I love the Bee Gees music for sure. So yes, let me know if I think I'm going to have to celebrate National Pasta Day. I can get behind that for sure. Today is also National Bosses Day. National Bosses Day. Recognizes the hardworking boss overseeing the workplace. Show thankfulness to your bosses. If it's always on the 16th, unless the 16th falls on a weekend, then it's celebrating on the closest working day. So if it's on the Saturday, you do it on Friday. If it's on the Sunday, you do it Monday. So it was yesterday, but we celebrate it today, apparently. And for those of you that are entrepreneurs out there, make sure you celebrate yourself today, because sometimes we forget to do that. Okay. I feel called out by this next one. And I need you to raise your hand in the audience if you are going to feel called out with me, because I feel called out right now. It is National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. So look, I need to clean my actual desktop, but I also need to clean my virtual desktop. Remember when your computer was new and the desktop was clean and organized, the trash pile was empty, the only files on the computer were the ones the manufacturer created, no viruses, no documents, your computer was fast, you were ready to create, design, and program. A clean and organized space offers fewer frustrations. Everything is in its file and you know where to find it. Archive old files, create shortcuts. This will help your computer run faster and help you find them more quickly. Pin favorite apps to the start menu. Name photos and put them in a... Can we just talk about, please, for a moment, like how I'm horrible with the photos. I will put them in a folder all together, mishmashed in there like a delicious casserole. And somehow we're back on food again. And I just have no idea. So I'm like, where's the picture? I don't know. I have to, I want to do it as time goes on. Okay. I have the best intentions. I want to do it as time goes on. I want to name them. I want to organize them. Every time I say I'm going to do it and I don't. Look, it's priorities, and I guess it's just not one for me. I'll be the first to admit that. Angela's like, I'm guilty with the photos. I'm glad to not be alone. Okay. I'm glad to not be alone where that is concerned. All right. Let's see what else is going on today really quickly. It is National Black Poetry Day. That's really cool. National Black Poetry Day honors past and present Black poets. The day also commemorates the birth of the first published Black poet in the United States, named Jupiter Hammond, and he was born in Long Island, New York, on October 17th, 1711. Very cool. Very cool. What else? Anything else we have going on here? It is National Mulligan Day. What the hell is this? It's a goal. I thought this had to do with golf, but I had to check myself here for a moment. In golf, a mulligan happens when a player gets a second chance to perform a specific move or action. The day offers an opportunity for giving yourself a second chance, or as some people call it, a do-over or a mulligan. So if you feel like you failed at something today, if you feel like you made a mistake today, give yourself a mulligan and give yourself the opportunity to do it over. All right. All right. Listen, so what we're going to talk about on the show today is a little bit about words and how they may or may not be bringing you joy. This is one of my favorite things to talk about because there's a lot of different directions we can go with it. And I have experienced the truth of breathing life into our words, and I'm going to dive a little bit into that. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about coming up here. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing. Healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer.
It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and today is Monday, October 17th, 2022. We're in spooky season right now. I hope you guys are having a good time getting ready for enjoying the fall, getting ready for Halloween if you celebrate that, and just, or at minimum, honoring the changes and transitions that are happening with us and all around us in nature. I want to talk about something really quickly. Speaking of spooky season, so my daughter, we took our daughters to the Dollar Tree the other day. They had done their schoolwork and they got to earn a little something. And our youngest, who is 6, wanted a pumpkin balloon. Okay. And, we're like, okay, great. We'll see how long this lasts. When they're filled up with helium already, it doesn't always last that long, but it's been floating around pretty good. It's been tied to something. So it's kind of floating closer to the ground. And I told her, don't leave that in my room. I tend to be, really an interesting sleeper. I'll just say it at that, a light sleeper at times, and I'll wake up a lot in the middle of the night and I'll see things. I don't like to see things moving in my room. I don't like to see things moving in my room, and the balloon just like floats. So I'm like, don't leave it in my room. Last night she left it in my room. She left it. I have like an air purifier in my room that has a little tiny light on top, and the balloon, I didn't know this, was floating right near that little light on the air purifier. And so I'm laying in my bed this morning and I open my eyes and I see a shadow on my ceiling of what looks like the terror dogs from Ghostbusters. And it was moving. Okay. It's not like it's still and I'm like, oh, that's a pile of clothes. Thing was moving. You could see like the head, the little horn things and the head come. I told her this morning, I said, don't leave that balloon in my room anymore. That's not something, I'm just letting you guys know, not something you want to wake up to in the morning. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's talk about words today. We're talking about how words can bring us joy or steal our joy. And two of the words in particular that I would like to use today or talk about today are always and never. Okay, let's talk about first what always means. It means always, forever, every time, without missing. Okay, always, all of the time. It means not missing a beat. Always like that. On the opposite side of the spectrum, never means never happened. Not even one time, not even once. Okay. So a lot of times when we're talking about people, circumstances, and we're using these two words in particular, always and never, it's a situation where we can easily be literally sucking the life out of whatever we're talking about. And a lot of times, to me, it's kind of like, it can be a little bit of an immature type thing, because I hear my kids a lot using those words always and never, right? Like when they're really little, my youngest will come in and she'll ask for a cookie and I'll say, no, you're not having a cookie right now. And she'll say, but you never give me a cookie. Right. And that's like not true at all. And her favorite thing right now is like, if I tell her no, she can't. You're going to let me starve, is what she says. Okay, I assure you that child eats more than I do. All right, so when we use these words, they can easily suck the life literally out of what we're talking about. And as adults, when we generalize and we use those generalization word, the generalized words like always and never, when we're speaking to other adults, it can very easily suck the joy out of the situation, because we don't always mean it. We don't think about it a lot of times before we say it. So, I think what gets me about these words, and so when we talk about using words in our efforts to experience and create more joy in our lives, um, I like to say, and I mentioned this before, that it's breathing life. When we speak a word, it's coming out this way, okay? And it's literally breathing, because you breathe as you speak. If you talk, say something to yourself right now, put your hand in front of your mouth like this, you can literally feel the air coming out. So I like to use that analogy or that visualization of breathing life into your words, because it reminds me that my words have power, and I'm literally, you can feel the breath as I'm talking, and you're breathing the life into those words. So to take a little more care in thinking about what you say before you say it. Now, why do we sometimes not do that? I think one, we can get wrapped up in the emotions of what we're talking about, and we're just bleh. Instead of thinking first, we get really passionate about what we're thinking about or what we're saying. I think another thing, and we've done this on the show before, is that a lot of times we are uncomfortable with the silence, with the quiet, feeling like we need to fill space. Now, as a talk show host, that's something that I've had to learn how to do, but then on the contrast, balance that out a little bit in my everyday life. Not every single thing is a show. So when I'm on the show, it's important for me to not have dead air, to not have time that nothing's happening, because if people come in at that moment and you're just staring at the screen and nobody's talking, they're going to change the channel, right? They're going to go watch something else. So I've had to learn how to fill space really well. It's very similar when I was on the stage. When I was singing on stage and I was in between songs, I would do a lot of chatting between songs. Like, yes, I would take a minute to breathe or take a sip of water or whatever, but I would do a lot of chatting between songs, because you don't want the audience staring going, okay, well, what's going to happen next? Same thing with a play. A lot of times, if you forget a line or something like that, or if you're not being physical in the moment to where the audience is watching what's going on, it's important for you to fill the space. But our everyday life, we don't need to do that. So one of the things I've had to do is learn how to be good with the silence. If somebody doesn't answer right away, and I'm still a work in progress about that, because I'm a person that likes to get in there and fix it and do and solve everything right there. But if someone's not talking, and I also don't want to be the only one talking. I like a two-way conversation. And so I like a banter. I enjoy raising my hand of admitting, oh, there's all my die there. Raising my hand and admitting that I like an argument sometimes. Because I would rather that almost than silence, because then you don't know what's going on, right? So for me, like, I've had to learn kind of that balance of, you're not on a show right now. You don't need to necessarily have words inserted here, and to be good with processing and thinking and sitting with and marinating on, and then speaking afterwards. So a lot of times, I in that process of learning, of sitting with, I have really found the value of thinking about the words that I say before I say them. Does that mean that I'm perfect all the time? Absolutely not. I still say things I don't mean sometimes, and sometimes they come out. I want to talk about that for a minute, though, that saying things we don't mean. And let me know, you guys, chime in on this in the comments. Let me know if you feel like you are always careful with your words, or do you sometimes say things that you don't mean to say? How do you process that? Let me know in the comments. We sometimes will blurt something out, or we'll say something and we say that phrase afterwards. I didn't mean to say that. Sometimes it's what they call a Freudian slip accident, I'll say, uh, you know, go get in the box. And I don't mean box. I meant car, but I was looking at the box while I was saying it, and it just kind of happened. But I'm talking about, when we say something that might be harmful or hurtful, and we say it and then we go, oh, I didn't mean to say that. I kind of, in this fall change, transition time, shadow work time, one of the questions that I like to ask myself, though, is where did that come from, though? Because what I found is that even if we didn't mean to say it out loud, that sometimes those words that we say are coming from a place, they're coming from somewhere, right? It could have been a traumatic event. It could have been, we really do mean it. We just didn't mean to say it out loud. And sometimes that blurting out of things can facilitate a conversation that maybe needed to happen, facilitate a train of thought that maybe needed to go on, something that we've been suppressing, pushing down. Going back to the always and never, I think the discomfort for me when discussing those words goes back to something that we've talked about many times on this show, and has also been fresh on my mind as we are coming up to, in a few weeks, to our midterm elections here in the United States. Midterm elections means 2 years into a presidency. For anybody that's not in this country, there are local elections that happen halfway point in a 4-year term for president at the 2-year mark. I hope I didn't speak in a circle there. But it's been fresh on my mind with that, because when we had another president fairly recently, um, I had a very mixed news feed as far as like who supported who, and it's still very much like that now. I see it, where you have half the people that are like, staunchly in this camp, and the other half that are in this camp. And um there was a lot of deleting of friends that happened back then, and there was a lot of just division within families, friendships being broken apart based on the political leanings of a person, who they voted for, etc. And my question, what really hit me, is when I asked a person last election time, I asked a person, what would you do? Because they leaned a certain way. And I said, what would you do, like, if you found out that your mom or your best friend or your mentor for the last 30 years voted for the other candidate? And they said to me, I would delete them. I would literally delete them off my social media. I would cut them off. We wouldn't talk anymore. And that disturbed me, disturbed me beyond belief, because we can't even have a conversation anymore without completely internalizing and making things emotional and making it all about you. Because if people don't believe the same way that you do, they're the devil incarnate, you know. um and it bothered me. It bothered me, the division and the hatred, and it 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 frustrated me, because to me that's a cop out. It's an easy way out. It is someone saying it's going to be easier just to cut you off than to have a conversation, or at minimum just agree to disagree, right? That's sometimes challenging to do, but I digress. And so compartmentalizing in relationships, I think, is really, really important. If I know that there's somebody in my life, and there is, that there's several that lean a completely different way for than me politically, guess what we don't do? We don't talk about politics. You know, um is we don't talk about it. I don't, if we do, if there are people that I'm able to, that I know we can have a civil conversation and it's fine, but most people, we just don't talk about it. And that's okay. Because to me, it is not important that we match up on every single thing in our lives. I gave this example to one of my kids one time about, you know, my husband will listen to me ramble on about different things, but like sometimes when I get into some of the more woo stuff, he will glaze over. And I know, like, he's gone. And he does the same thing with me. Sometimes when he talks about work stuff, I'm gone. I'm out. So it's important for me in my life to have people who enjoy those things, who maybe are into some more of the woo woo stuff. So I'm not expecting him to be someone he's not, and have him be interested in something that he's just not interested in. And I have an outlet for that. I have places to go and people to talk to about different things. And so I'm circling it back around here. So when we talk about the words always and never, in my mind, we are putting an expectation on a person to check every single box that we want them to check. And I feel like that is an unreasonable expectation. Somebody is not going to fulfill all of the things. A situation, a circumstance, a place, a thing, it is not necessarily going to check every single box. And we are so quick as humans sometimes to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, for example, going back to the political example, if you had a mentor for 30 years who changed your life in a positive way, and without that mentor, you wouldn't be the person that you are, and then one day you find out that they voted for someone that you wouldn't have voted for in 1,000 years, and it offends you, are you going to then say that none of that 30 years of mentoring mattered? Like that, like we just throw it all away. And we're so quick to do that as humans. And it, like, I guess as the humanitarian, the Aquarius over here, the humanitarian of the zodiac, and also my Libra rising, that's like, weigh all the things, you know, yin and yang, like both sides of the coin. Like, it bothers me, like on a very deep level, that we can't do that. That we say that someone is always this way or never this way, and it sucks the joy out of the relationship. It takes away all of those things that we once saw to be good. We're just throw it out because now we're mad about one thing or another, right? Let me go back and let, let me go back and check the comment. We're talking about that balloon on the ceiling. Listen, don't recommend the balloon floating around in your room. I try to watch what I say and how I say it because I don't want to hurt anyone with my words, but sometimes it slips out rudely. And look, I think we're all human, right? We're all human in that way. Things don't always come out in the way that we want it to. Um, I think we can do a better job overall as humans of put a little sugar. What's the harm of putting a little sugar on it? Why do we're so at times consumed with I can say what I want and stand in my power. And yes, there's a time and place, and that's all wonderful. And I don't think that by pouring a little sugar on that necessarily means that you're losing who you are. I don't think that. And I think if we really love people, if we really respect and appreciate the people in our lives, why do we want to purposely be ugly and rude? Why do we want to do that? Does it happen sometimes, Brittany? Absolutely. Absolutely. I prime example. I told you last couple of weeks, you guys, I've been like last month, I've been like Veruca Salt over here. I have admitted it live on air several times that my brattiness has been on the front table or on the front porch. Okay, table, porch, all it's been in the front yard. Okay, in the road. It's what it's been. But like I've admitted that and I recognize it in myself, and it's an active like moment to moment thing because like I'm going through a lot of stuff personally right now. Like a lot of things, like more than I have time to discuss on one show. Okay? And so I recognize those things and I'm trying really hard to just be aware and to take more time to think about what I'm saying. And at minimum, if it does slip out, if something does come out that I don't like, to reflect on it and try not to repeat that, right? Um, Thank you for letting me know that this resonates with you. We were made uniquely. We don't always need to agree on everything to have a relationship. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's challenging for me, especially this time of the year when it's election season and I'm watching just the literal bloodbath on my timeline. And it's like, what do you when we expect people to check every single box and we keep them in our lives still expecting them to check, it's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not right. I usually put sugar on it. I guess we do, right? I'll just dump it on. Dump it on. Lots of sugar, lots of cream, like all of that going on. If we only remember in the moment how much a person can be going through. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, um, and let me know how you guys feel about this. Like I struggle sometimes with the finding the line of like, do I give a pass knowing that the person is going through something? Because I think there's a dance that we can do. Um there's remember we've talked about the net before, like dropping the net, which creates a boundary, but it still allows life to flow through. I think we can create that in our relationships. It takes a lot of work. I'm not sitting here saying any of this is easy, but it takes some work. And I think it's possible to create a boundary, but still be a support if you want to put in that work, if you're willing to do that. Um, to when we know somebody's going through something, to not give them a pass, but to be understanding. And don't be a doormat, but be understanding at the same time, and maybe allow some time to pass. This happened to me recently. I felt really offended by a friend of mine. I felt really upset by the way that they responded to me when I was just trying to be helpful, and ultimately was saying like, I agree with you absolutely 100%. um and I had to kind of sit back and be like, this person's really going through a lot right now. Now, it doesn't, in my mind, it doesn't make it better how I was treated, but I know that they're going through a lot. And I really hope that the people in my life right now, I would hope and pray that they're giving me a little bit of the same grace, because I've been very forthright and I've said the last couple of episodes, like, I'm going through a lot right now. And so when I do slip, I would love for us to surround ourselves with people who just put a little bit of the sugar on top, and know that we're all humans. We're all going through some stuff. What's up, Alicia? It's good to see you. I'm so glad that this resonates with you as well. It can be hard. It can be hard to just, to choose to engage in a relationship when we know that it's hard, when it's tough, to not just cut people off, when we don't agree on things, when it's rough, usually even the person we elect believe in something. That is exactly 100%. So since we're talking about political season here, and can I just put a plug? Can I just put a little plug here, by the way, that every day should be political season? I'm not telling you to put signs on your lawn every day, but if we pay attention to local politics every single day, we don't have to cause a fuss on election time. Thank you. I'll get down off my pedestal. At any rate, there's so many people who, when we elect a person and someone finds out who somebody else elected, and they're like, well, this means that you're insert whatever slur here, just because people are typically voting, what I'm seeing in two ways. One, either they don't know who they vote for and they're voting for whoever somebody tells them is a good candidate, or they're voting on the principles that affect their family the most. They want to vote for the person who is going to, or they hope is going to, create an environment that is best for their family. Okay. There's going to be things. I consider, listen, there's not a president that has been in office here in the United States that I have agreed with every single thing about the person. There's going to be something about their lifestyle, something that they said, something that, and it goes back to that always or never. And then we end up, we spend so much time complaining about the always and nevers instead of like the things that are good and the things that are happy that's going on, right? If the relationship is strong, differences won't tear us apart. Absolutely. Thank you guys for chiming in on this with me. So I would encourage us all, as we're in this shadow season. That's what we're going to be doing the next couple of weeks, you guys, next few weeks here on Project Joy. We're of course talking about joy, but we're talking about those shadow things, those things about ourselves that are difficult for us to face, difficult for us to talk about, difficult for us to change and dig into and be aware of, and difficult to choose, to want to choose to change. Okay. Because it's hard work. It can be hard work. So we're going to be digging into a lot of this stuff in the next few weeks, because this is shadow season. It's the time to do it. So why don't we'll just do it among friends. We vote by looking at our own experiences. I need to run. Oh, good to see you. Thank you so much for popping in this morning, Angela. So we're going to take a quick break, you guys. You're going to see you can see a little Halloween thingy before we get back here. And then we're going to do our birthdays at the end of the show. So don't miss it. We'll be right back after this.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weisscholarshipfoundation.org.
Happy Halloween from the Breakthrough Show Network. You guys like that little graphic? I love it. I put it together and I was like, I just need to play this all the time. Makes me so happy. So cute. Let me know if you guys like it as well. Let's talk about some birthdays today and let me know if there's anybody that has a birthday in your life that you are celebrating. I've been going through our celebrities here as well. So a birthday that happened recently, by the way, that I want to make sure to mention, it's not today, it was over the weekend. But one of our Breakthrough Show alumni had a birthday. She used to be a panelist on the Breakthrough Show itself and has been on several of the shows. So sending a huge happy birthday to Genevieve Kahn. I hope you had an amazing day. And we love celebrating the birthdays of our alumni. Let's check out the celebrities really quick today. Eminem has a birthday today. Any Eminem fans out there? I love some Eminem. Who else do we have going on? Country singer, we went right from rap to country, but if you're a country singer, Alan Jackson has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Alan. Let's see who else has a birthday today. Let's see. I don't see, Wyclef Jean has a birthday today. Love some Wyclef. He's amazing. Let me know if you are a fan of his. Let's see if there's anybody else that I want to point out. From NSYNC, Chris Kirkpatrick has a birthday today. I have no idea what that just wrote on my phone, but my autocorrect is out of control lately. I don't know what is going on. Chris Kirkpatrick has a birthday today. The celebrities in my life that we have going on. Michelle Mraz has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Michelle. Pauline Benedetto has a birthday today. From back in school days, Jamie Lee has a birthday. I think I have a picture of Jamie and I from Halloween. I know I have one from when we graduated DARE together in the 5th grade, but happy birthday, Jamie. Also, Brad Street has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Brad. And I'm going to fix this because I don't know what I'm going to be singing when it's time here. Patrick. There we go. Listen. This autocorrect has something going on. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the little Halloween thing going on here. Here we go, you guys. You ready for birthdays? Let's do it. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michelle Mraz, Pauline DiBenedetto, Jamie Lee, Brad Street, Genevieve Kahn, Eminem, Alan Jackson, Wyclef Jean, and Chris Kirkpatrick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to everybody who's celebrating, everybody that's celebrated over the last week. I hope you had an amazing time. And also we are remembering while we're in celebratory mode, the joy that Angela Lansbury and Robbie Coltrane brought to our lives through their performances. Remembering them for sure in this spooky season. Yeah. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're set up to have an amazing week. I want to remind you of a couple things. Tomorrow night, we have an all new episode of My Way. It is going to be an amazing show. Make sure you tune in at 6:05 p.m. p.m. Eastern Time. 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time. My Way, conversations with entrepreneurs doing business outside the box. Also on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, the Jacksons are continuing their series on stories of survival for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And they will be embarking on part 3 this Wednesday. Again, that's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with the Jacksons. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing week. I love you all so very much, and I will see you again next Monday for sure. Enjoy. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. See you next time.